With the 10cc Valiant rebuilt, it was time to Re-Maiden it. The grass was still wet and I was in a hurry to get this thing in the air before the wind picked up, and we didn't have enough power to pull through the wet grass. The crosswind helped turn this thing left, and when it got to the grass I decided to just drop the throttle, not try and fly it out of this. There wasn't any damage, and we decided to come up with a better plan for dealing with the wet grass. Keep in mind that the NGH motor is brand new and I don't have it leaned out all the way yet. So a little bit of help and it's got plenty of power to lift the plane off. Once the grass dried out, it took off a lot better. Over the course of the rest of the day, I find out that takeoffs with the 10cc Valiant are best if they're a little bit shallow. It just needs a few seconds after it breaks free of the grass to get up to speed. As soon as I got the plane turned downwind, I could tell it needed a bunch of down trim, and I didn't understand that. Everything else seemed to be okay, so I just cranked in a bunch of down trim and we'd figure this out later. I decided to bring it around so we can get a better look at it to see if we could see anything that changed. When it turned back into the wind, it wanted to balloon some more, so I had to add some more down trim. This time I was able to control it better, and we brought it in for a landing. As soon as it got close, we could see what happened. That magnetic windshield stood up and really screwed up the aerodynamics. With the windshield down where it's supposed to be, I had to take all that down trim out of it again. We wound up with the trims virtually zeroed out, so I had it right in the first place with the windshield in the right place. Now the 10cc Valiant was flying like a Valiant. Even though the winds had been picking up, I put out the full flaps and wanted to see how it was at lower speeds. If you saw the first Maiden, you know this is where I crashed. This time I was able to keep the nose into the wind and it landed just fine, even though there's pretty gusty winds. For a plane this size, the 10cc Valiant's got really good ground handling even in the grass. And now that the grass is dried out, go full power and it takes off easily. I was finding out that this size Valiant flies a lot like a Cub, where you need to add a little bit of rudder to keep it from dragging its tail around when you make a turn. I had reset the throws for the control surfaces closer to what the manual said, and it really made a lot of difference in how easily the Valiant flies. Here I've added a little down elevator to the full flaps mix, and that seems to help quite a bit. I didn't want to add too much down elevator to the flap system because when the wind goes away, that could be a whole different story. Besides, if you hold a little down elevator, the Valiant is very predictable. Between a tick of down elevator, the flaps, and a little throttle management, the plane lands fine. Despite the lumpy winds up there, I was surprised at how stable the Valiant was inverted. I was a little concerned doing touch and goes in this wind with a brand new motor, but the NGH 9cc engine just ran fine. Once I got used to that the motor's going to keep running, I was able to pay more attention to the plane. It made doing touch and goes a lot more fun. Here I've got the ailerons dialed in for all the throw I can get, and we don't have a whole lot of roll right there, but that's not expected on a plane like this. I nosed it up here just to see if the motor would fall off to see how close we are in the high-end mixture, and it seemed pretty good. Usually if you pull it up like that, you can hear the motor bog down. It's too lean. Every once in a while I got to lift off in between the gusty winds, and you just put a little bit of rudder in and it'll almost turn itself. You do have to be careful with the rudder though, especially if you've got a lot of throw dialed in. The rudder on all of the Valiant models seems to be very effective. It's been a while since I flew a plane this small. I did a bunch of these descents into the field to get a better sense of when it was actually over the field and not going down in the trees outside there. The stability of the Valiant let me focus on watching the plane so I get a better idea of when it's over the field. And every good touch and go means I get to go around again and do it some more. On a plane that has flaps, I'll do some touch and goes without the flaps just to see how the plane handles. The Valiant needs just a little more speed and it's fine. A common theme with the spectators watching the Valiant fly was how much power that little 9cc motor's got. And I have to admit that a single-digit cc rating had me a little concerned also. But as I got a better feel for the plane, the power was not an issue. And despite being the first full day of flying on the NGH 9cc engine, it's been really reliable the whole time. The idle was nice and stable, and the top speed never seemed to change as far as leaning out or anything. It stayed right where we set it. The Valiant had felt so stable at lower speeds, I decided to try something, and it was really dumb. For a little while it looked like it actually wanted to do an elevator. But then that physics thing won out. I had to catch it before it got too low to the trees. We won't be doing elevators no more with the Valiant. If you're looking for a smaller gas engine airplane, you need to look at the 10cc Valiant and an NGH 9cc motor. The Valiant likes the rudder, can even fly kind of sideways in the gusty winds. You have to cross control with the ailerons to do this, but it felt really solid and didn't need a whole lot of input from either one. The 10cc Valiant along with the NGH 9cc engine make a good pair if you want to get into a gas engine airplane. Once you get used to flying the 10cc Valiant, flying the 30cc Valiant's even easier. Of course, once you start playing with the Valiant, you're going to have so much fun you're probably not going to want to move to a different airplane. Not for a while anyway. And it handles wind so good that you can get a lot more flying days in.